Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to also thank my colleague, Congressman Rodney Davis, for working with me to advance this long overdue legislation, which we call the Disaster Declaration Improvement Act. This bill seeks to bring fairness to the Federal Emergency Management Agency's disaster declaration process. Right now, if a tornado or a flood or any other natural disaster in a small town, like many of the ones I represent in the state of Illinois, FEMA's current per capita formula leaves much of rural America behind. That's because FEMA's current disaster assessment rules fail to take into account localized impacts on Main Street, agricultural communities, all throughout our nation. This has left hardworking families in Illinois and in rural states throughout the United States without access to the federal relief they so badly need under these circumstances. For instance, in my district, the city of Pekin was denied FEMA disaster recovery funding following a deadly tornado that had winds up to 120 miles per hour that ripped through the town in November of 2013. Gary and Selena Clear were in church on that Sunday afternoon when this tornado hit. They took shelter along with the rest of the congregation in the hallway to protect themselves. Finally, and with God's blessing, they were able to drive safely home, and they didn't even recognize what was in front of them. Much of their roof was gone. Their garage had been torn away, and their battered car lay among all of the rubble. The tornado destroyed about 200 other structures in this town of only 35,000 people. But this community received no public assistance dollars, zero. This was a direct result of FEMA's disaster declaration formula, which again makes it unnecessarily difficult for Illinois and also smaller communities to receive the help that they need. Mr. Speaker, we are not asking for a handout for rural America. In fact, in the Midwest, we're as resilient as they come. But we are certainly asking for a fair shake and the opportunity for all of our families to get the help that they need in a time of crisis. A few $1 million of damages can devastate a smaller town or a rural community. And that's why FEMA must give greater weight to the local impact of a disaster when making decisions about the need for federal assistance. Our bill fixes an unfair formula that hurts too many of our smaller towns and villages across Illinois and across America. This bill had been included in the FEMA Disaster Assistance Act of 2015, but it sat in the Senate without any action. Today, we are working together to pass it once again because we can't solve this problem by ignoring it. And I would urge our friends in the Senate to take action. With new flooding damaging roads and infrastructure in places like Pekin and Peoria and in southern Illinois where my friend Mike Bost serves and where Rodney Davis serves, I urge my colleagues to join us in supporting this bill so we can help ensure that hardworking families from the heartland have the support they need to get back on their feet after disaster. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of my time.